Wow, this is one of the most incredible news I've ever seen. For you that have not seen this video, Tinubu said that Nigerian young youths, like Nigeria youths, they need to be patient. For how long? He further stated that they need to be committed. Really? And he said something that really touched my heart. He said, Nigeria don't have any reason why they should be poor. Like, Nigerians normally, they don't get any reason why they're poor. Please, for you that have not seen this video, just take a look and try and reflect to the reason why I said it's one of the most incredible news I've ever seen. Because we have too much poor people in Nigeria. It's one of the most poorest countries so far.
The issues while expressing his commitment to end poverty and underdevelopment in the country.
We have no reasons to be poor. We don't. And I'm assuring you that we're not going to look back, but we will continue to look forward. Our people are expecting a lot from us. How much longer is lamentation possible? I'm not the president that will give excuses. I want to work hard for our nation. A nation united by a single purpose.
For the task ahead, he calls for unity and support in the pursuit of a prosperous nation and appeals to the younger generation to be patient.
Don't just come for the visit, but be committed to our spirit of oneness. I've embraced that. We need to talk to our youths. If we are going to invest in their future to bring about success, progress, and development, they need to hear from us that there is need for mindset, changes of mindset.
In a light-hearted moment, President Tinubu had the audience in stitches with his humor on securing his job at the tribunal.
At least I have a secured job from the tribunal now. Yeah, 12 hours marathon. It's no joke. Yoruba says you don't sleep in front of the judge. I could see the reversal of that saying.
Beyond the humor, people are eagerly anticipating the transformative changes that President Tinubu's leadership promises. Adesua Moruan, Arise News.
Moving on to the next story. The Chicago State University, CSU, yesterday confirmed that President Bola Tinubu attended the university and graduated in 1979 with a bachelor's degree. The university disclosed this in a statement issued to CBS Broadcasting Incorporated, generally referred to as CBN News, one of America's biggest and most influential news network. It, however, pointed out that United States federal law prevents it from providing any further information about Tinubu's record without consent or unless allowed to do so via court order. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, had alleged that documents showing that Tinubu graduated from Chicago State in 1979 were not authentic and had highlighted it as grounds to nullify Tinubu's election victory. The certificate was issued in 1979 and signed by University President Elnora Daniel. But Daniel didn't arrive at CSU until 1998 and left about 10 years later. Well, the president in the news, headline story for this morning.
Okay, so the president in the news, number one, yes, like he said, as regards the delegation that came from Rivers State, we have no reason to be poor, but we are poor and he's going to do everything to fight it. The reason why we're poor, we know, is because of leadership. Successive Nigerian leaders have made this country poor. They've deliberately impoverished the poor because of their level of corruption. And that's what puts our country the way it is today. So President Tinubu had better try as much as possible to be able to solve the problem. Because one of the things that make us poor is the mounting debt, for instance. Today now, they said our debt have increased up to 87 trillion. Increased 75% more in the space of 3 months. That means we are still taking a lot of debts. And when you take so much debt, there's nothing that can be done. 2 weeks after sharing the palliative, life is still hard for a lot of Nigerians. These are the things that make Nigeria poor. Massive corruption, crude oil theft, and the list goes on. Concerning the certificate, I think a lot of people should come out clean. And the university and the institution should come out clean. Why is all of this happening? The certificate he presented to INEC is different from the one a lawyer, Enahoro Eba, got from CSU. And they filed a case as regards that I never saw the light of day. There were discrepancies as regards what the same Chicago State University gave Enahoro Eba, a lawyer, and what the president filed in his INEC form. We should not have a country where we're having discrepancies in certificates of leaders. We should not have a country that makes mockery of our country. So it is based on that Atiku Abubakar. And that's why the subpoena is clear in the Vanguard News report last year, and the documents are public source. All the records that CSU gave. And it's based on that Atiku Abubakar is going to court. So there's been a lot of back and forth in court as regards the case. But CSU is not also willing to authenticate this same certificate that they gave out. They can also authenticate their own certificate. So it's a blight on CSU. So no matter how much CSU tries to go and contact CBS and issue a report, the question we should ask them is, why can't they authenticate the certificate they gave out? Because if you give out an authenticate certificate, you should be able to authenticate it as the body that issued the certificate. And also, why are there discrepancies who signs the certificates? A man that just came in 1998 signed a certificate that was issued in 1979. And that's why when Mr. Duro Jaye came out to say he went to school, we would like to have the man on the table here, because we would like to ask critical questions about his time in school. And it's not today we had cases against the president as regards certificate issue. That's back over 20 years ago. Even the primary school he went to and the secondary school he went to are still things we should ask for. You remember the conundrum of GCI. You remember also St. Paul's School, our lawyer. So there are many questions, and there needs to be clarity on the primary school he went to, the secondary school, and the university. Because so that people have a right to be able to know. I remember when, what is it called? I think it was one of Nigeria's president. Was it President Yar'Adua or somebody? They were doing a documentary on him, and they traced the documentary to where he served at Holy Child School. Dr. Abati also reminded, I think it was Goodluck Jonathan, they did a document and they discovered that he was teacher he served in maybe around Osun State or somewhere. NYSC in Osun State. So these are the documents we need to keep asking. Also ask things about, okay, where did he do his primary school? Where did he do his secondary school? And this university issue. So these are pertinent issues that need to, and the fact that CSU cannot authenticate the certificate. These are the questions, are pertinent questions we need to ask because of our national, knowledge base and sovereignty.
Okay, may I put it like this? The issue about President T1nubu's academic qualification is of no moment. It's not an issue. The people who have been digging into it since 1999 when he became governor of Lagos State, they're just wasting time. Section 131 sub D of the 1999 Constitution says, for you to be president of Nigeria, you will have qualification of school cert. At least, that section says, at least a school certificate qualification or its equivalent. Now, that one that says at least means that, in fact, you are not required to even complete secondary school. You could be F9 parallel, as many people who have led Nigeria came out with F9 parallel. So you don't need We are running a country where your education does not matter. So all of us, because we carry degrees, we wore academic gowns here and there, we think that the people who should run Nigeria should be educated people. No, the Constitution of Nigeria does not say so. And that's why we had that issue about school start with President Buhari. No, he didn't need to have a school start. Even in the Constitution, the interpretation of that section 131 says that, look, if you attended one or two seminars, and you can prove that you attended one roadside seminar where an MC was present and you were given a certificate of attendance, you can be anything in Nigeria. That's the level where we are. So all this controversy, whether he went to Chicago State University, he didn't go to Chicago State University, it's of no moment. Really, President Tinubu does not even need to go to any university to be president of Nigeria. He does not need to even go to secondary school. Do you know that in the interpretation section of the Constitution, it is even said with regard to section 131 that if you can just prove that you can speak English, you can be president of Nigeria. It even says that INEC on its own can determine on its own who can be president of Nigeria. So that's why I say it's of no issue. And nothing is going to come out of it. The people who are pursuing whether Tinubu attended Chicago State University or not, yeah, they may be pushing the point along the lines of perjury. Because if you claim something